In the Desire of Ages again. It's a dangerous book. Don't read it. I just want to warn you ahead of time. It makes you do really weird things. And I decided I really have been feeling a call in my life to do full-time evangelistic work. And so I said, okay, Lord, I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where actually you're going with this. But I have waited long enough. I thought, well, maybe when I first got here I would go ahead and do that. Didn't work out. I went and I took training with Share Him, and Dave Livermore, the guy that was leading the training, called Pastor John and said, put him to work. And so we tried, but neither one of the churches could afford to hire me. And they said, no, there's nothing there. And so I went, oh, well, I guess God doesn't want me. And I was extremely depressed for a long time over that. I thought, that's it. I'm done. I'm 60 years old. It's over. And so I was praying about it, and I said, you know, I just felt this call. It said, you're going to have to quit where you're at. You need to do this full time. I said, okay. And so I said, Alita, here's what's going on. Here's what I'm feeling called to do. And she said, what were you reading? And so I read to her what I had read, and she said, okay. And I said, so my decision is I'm going to turn in my notice at work, and I'm going to quit. And she said, wow, it's about time. What do you mean it's about time? She said, I've been thinking you're going to do this for 3 or 4 months ago. What took you so long? I'm thinking, man, I don't know. What else do you want for affirmation? If you want an affirmation, you know, she's going to give up the security of me having a job as well as her. Wow, something happened there. So I said, okay. So I turned in my notice. I was a little bit scared about it. I went in on Monday, and I didn't give my notice on Monday. And circumstances took place, and I said, no, you know, what does God have to do? Hit me upside of the head? So I said, okay, Lord. The next morning I turned in my notice, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And it wasn't fast enough. I said the 28th of February was going to be my last day, and God said, no, I need you a little earlier than that. I said, okay. Because the technician I work with, he got really angry at me one day. And I said, well, do you want me to just go home? I can just go home. I mean, I don't have to stay here if you don't want me to. Whatever. Walked away from it. So I got my ladder and my tools, and I put them away, and I went home. And I went back the next day, and he never said a word to me all day. And so I thought, wow, this is weird. Dan's down in the Bahamas on not a honeymoon cruise, but an anniversary cruise. And I thought, this is really weird. So I stayed home Friday. Thought, well, I'll just let this kind of sit. And the more I let it sit, the more I thought, no, I'm going to take my vacation, which I'm going to lose. So I took my vacation time the following week. And then Dan came home that following Sunday, and I went in and I said, here's my keys, here's my stuff, I'm picking up my things from my desk, I'm done, thank you very much. I never figured it was going to end like this, but here we are. Have a great life. I shook hands with him, and I went on. And I thought, wow, am I nuts or what? You know, and then Monday, I faced a time where I'm not going to work. I went, whoa, this is weird. Tuesday came around. I did a few things around the house, you know, other than just mopping and cleaning. And Tuesday morning, I went down to the brick wall in town, and I got a chocolate milk down there. And Clark Grogan, the pastor of the College Avenue Baptist Church, was there. And I said, you know, this is what I've done. This is where I'm going. And he said, yeah, I wouldn't mind if you had prayer with me and for me. Let's go up to the church. So we went up. We chatted for a little while. We had prayer. We talked. Another pastor came in and said, well, we're going to go. And he said, listen, at noon today we have a ministerial association of St. Mary's. Why don't you join us? Had I been working, there's no way I could have joined. So I went there at noon, met with the other pastors. There weren't everybody from the area, but there were a number. And one of the pastors, I had installed internet for him within, you know, the last month or so. And his name is Greg. And when Greg found out that I had done what I did, as far as just quit outright and went on, he came over, he gave me a huge hug, and he said, I did that 4.5 years ago. My wife and I just stepped out in faith that that's what God was calling us to do. So praise the Lord, I'm glad you're doing that. He said, it's a rocky road, but you're going to make it. And the guy from the Assembly of God Church, he said, anytime you want to come down and have prayer with me, come on down, it's fine. I went down, but he wasn't at the office.